I accidentally was watching American Idol the other night, and this dude came on. He's a country singer, like a young dude. Immediately went to his Instagram, 300 followers, and as he was performing, 1,000, like every second. I was like, this is going to be a famous person. I just watched his audition. Dropped this
in
week.
real life. You watched it or just on the TV?
On TV. I don't know why I was watching American Talent.
Sometimes you have to.
Idol. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so the first person comes out. Connor, I witnessed history, and it's crazy to think like you guys don't know what's coming, but I do.
Are you allowed to say?
I guess I didn't sign anything.
Is that one of those things where you walk past a little printed piece of paper and it's like once you pass this point you're under, like you are.
That's a good point.
Because sometimes when, like, if you walk on the Venice Beach boardwalk, there are signs that say when you're out here you're agreeing to be like in a behind a camera or like get photos taken of you because you're in this area and it's hard to manage, or they're filming something or something.
I really think like especially considering like the performance that we got, they would have said something.
Right. I don't know if there is such thing as a physical NDA. I mean, sorry. Via your presence somewhere, an NDA.
I didn't sign anything, so I feel fine talking about it. Does everyone feel fine about that?
Well, it's not like you can show them a video of the performance.
No,
you
right.
can say someone's name.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So this girl walks out.
She's walking out.
And I, keep in mind, in the front.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm in the front. She walks out with an older man who appears to be her dad. She starts telling her life story. She's blind. And she has autism, which means she goes, well, I'm autistic, so I have perfect pitch, which is like, okay, awesome. And then she starts talking about how, and this is when I started crying, how she never felt comfortable like in school because she never fit in. So her dream is to make a school. And her name is Lavender, by the way. She's such a sweetheart. Like,
getting better.
I love her more than I've ever loved anyone. Her dream is to make a school where it's like led by the kids. So there's no classrooms. It's just the kids following their own curiosity.
That is called Lord of the Flies.
Which, no, by the way, like as somebody who majored in early childhood education, that's how it should be. That's how kids learn, by exploring their own
Have
curiosity.
you read Lord of the Flies?
No.
Encourage you.
I don't think I even want to.
It's a classic.
And that's why I don't want to. Give me a contemporary romance. I'll read that.
It's a good book.
Okay.
And it's about kids, and it's like it's a commentary on anarchism, essentially, I think.
Are you comparing like child-led education to anarchy?
Yes.
Okay.
And I feel pretty confident with
I
that.
feel like you would feel differently after talking
No,
to
there's a
Lavender.
study that came out on it's interesting because they came out with like this British UK thing. I watched it on Twitter where they put boys in a house, like 12 boys in a house and 12 girls in a house, cameras everywhere. And they're young, they're like 8 or 9. And just kind of let them do their day-to-day. The girls put on talent shows and had like a scheduled time of their day. They had people responsible for cleaning, people responsible for cooking. Boys, cesspool. It was anarchy. It was scary.
Well, I think you have to keep in mind, like, this is a school, so there will be teachers that are trained in directing. Yeah. And teaching. Like, there are different ways of teaching, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd love to put you into contact with Lavender specifically.
Let's do it.
Anyway.
I would love to suggest a book for her.
So then Lavender introduces her dad, who was actually her music teacher, who adopted her 2 years ago.
Oh.
Which, like,
that's awesome.
I'm already crying, and I'm thinking, like, damn, like, I hope she can sing.
Yeah. Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, if she couldn't, like, that would just, like, absolutely suck.
Ooh, Howie would be in a tight spot. Because Howie's a crier, too.
Right. Howie, yeah. Start singing. Connor, every hair on my body.
I just got chills, too.
Like, when she said she had perfect pitch, she wasn't.
What'd she sing? Can you tell us?
I completely forget.
Oh, no.
I forget, but it was like, it wasn't Celine Dion, but it was that kind of ballad. And it's a song, like, I didn't even know the song well, but, like, I had known it enough to think, like, maybe, was this on Glee or something? Like, I could see, like, Rachel performing it on Glee. It's, like, that kind of, like, Celine ballad type of song. But I forget what song it was exactly, which sucks. I wish I had the song. It was like, I cannot wait for it to come out, which I don't know when it comes out, but for everyone to see that, like, I am just like so stoked. She finishes standing ovation.
Yeah.
I am inconsolable.
Is everyone crying in the crowd?
Most people are crying.
Not a dry eye in the place?
Especially this like man next to me is like in hysterics. Okay, keep that in mind. Then eventually everyone calms down. It's Heidi's turn to start reviewing, and she like whispers to Sophia. She's like, I want to go last. So then everyone's like reviewing her, and they're like, obviously, like, this is amazing. Like Simon had actually lost his voice, so he had buttons that were like things he had said in the
like
past.
Like those dogs that they're trying to teach to talk.
So he was kind of just like pressing the buttons that were like, this is amazing, like blah blah blah. So Howie's like incredible, like you are blah blah blah. Everyone's saying she's incredible, and then Heidi, golden freaking buzzer, Connor.
That's awesome.
So she's got the golden buzzer, and then it turns out the man that was crying next to me was her other dad.
Oh.
And he went up on stage, and they were all hugging and crying, and it was
I'm
just
confused.
like,
Wait, the guy and the music teacher I thought was her adopted dad?
Yeah, so this was her husband, his husband.
Okay.
Next, so
Well,
those were
because
her
when you
dads.
said adopted dad, I was like, so she was an orphan?
I don't know. Like, she didn't talk about growing up besides just saying like she didn't
Okay.
like fit in. But I don't know about like.
So that was her biological father
No,
in the stand.
nope.
In the
Just
crowd.
it was the husband of two adopted dads.
Oh, I thought you said
They were
that was her that was her other father.
No.
Okay, I see.
Both her dads.
I understand now.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand. I thought she got adopted and then found her biological father.
No.
And then like just kept her.
Nope. Two adopted
dad.
dads married to each other. Anyway, so that's the first. Performance. The performances that followed, not quite up to par. For example, 2 people solving Rubik's cubes. One of them was able to light themselves on fire while solving the Rubik's cube. Point of that was to solve the Rubik's cube before he completely burned to death. Tough
High stakes.
to see after Lavender.
Yeah.
That kind. He did it, and they sent him on. Which I'm like, how could you like give him 4 yeses after giving Lavender 4 yeses?
Because as much as people want to act like they don't want to see someone die on TV, that's why they watch Crocodile Hunter.
Right.
Like, same
Right.
thing.
And then there was another girl with the Rubik's Cube who was singing while solving the Rubik's Cube, which, like, honestly, I know I couldn't do that, but like while watching it, I was like, okay, I could do that, you know? Which, like, and she also got 4 yeses, and it's just like, I wasn't
Early on in the season.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They
I
need a
guess
lot
you're
of
right.
people.
Then there was a guy playing 4 recorders at the same time, one out of one ear, one out of the other ear. Excuse me, 5. One out of one ear, one out of the other ear, one out of one nostril, one out of the other nostril, and one out of his mouth. Like, imagine seeing Lavender and then seeing recorder out of every hole.
Can you blow air out of your ear?
He said he can. He thinks he's the only one that can.
There's no sound coming out of that woodward. That
Connor,
instrument.
the recorder was going off.
It doesn't make sense because
you
can't.
No, you would think you can't. But honestly, he didn't get through, but he should have gotten through over the Rubik's Cubers.
Can we look up? Can you blow air out of your ear?
He says he thinks he might be the only person. So,
you know what I always want to learn how to do? Do you know what a didgeridoo is?
Is it an instrument?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's like in Australia, like the indigenous people are able to breathe at a continuous, Brooke, in through their mouth, out through their, in through their nose, out through their mouth, and play this thing at a continuous. They've taught themselves how to breathe in and blow out at the same time, to where it's just like a continuous thing, and they're able to never stop playing.
Wow.
When you blow your nose forcefully, it causes the air to move up into your middle ear, filling the space. In normal circumstances, this causes your eardrum to balloon outward. If you have a hole in your eardrum, however, air rushes out. So that would mean he's mostly deaf.
Or
if he was playing with his
or
ears.
he was playing the recorder so hard from his nose that he was blowing his nose so hard that
No. But if air is rushing out of your eardrum, that means you have a hole in your eardrum.
But air,
Because you can pop your eardrum, but
it's not air necessarily. Okay.
coming out of your ear.
Yeah.
So I think he's a fraud.
Okay.
Is what I want to say.
Or he put holes in his eardrums.
Or he's completely
which like
deaf.
completely sucks because he didn't make it through. So for what?
Well, probably because he can't hear what he's playing because he
Right.
popped both of his eardrums.
But I'm rooting for him.
He will make a lot of money on the Santa Monica Pier.
He does. He says he is a musician for a living and makes money off of that. So I guess he is doing that somewhere else.
I bet.